Time for the Saturday headlines with Elliotte Friedman. This is Hockey Night in Canada. Elliotte, Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey. David Amber asked the question, which NHL team is most in need of a shakeup? And Luke Gazdic, sitting there all relaxed and happy, he said the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I think most of the audience would agree. It's been that kind of a week this week. Like, just talking to anybody there, when you've been down at the rink or anyone in the organization, you can feel the tension. It's one of those weeks where everybody is kind of sitting there waiting for something to happen. So just calling around, this is the best information I can share. Look, I don't think they want to trade futures. I really don't believe that they want to do that. And I include Easton Cowan in that, even though he's in the lineup tonight and might stick there. You know, my grandmother always said there are no guarantees in life, so you can't promise anything. But I don't think that is down the road of what Toronto wants to do at all. What I'm hearing, Ron, is that they want to make hockey trades roster for roster, and they are exploring what on their roster has value, exactly what that value is, and can they do something that way, roster for roster. And I know you
right. So I hear that and I think, well, wait a minute, roster, that means Nylander or Matthews or Nyes.
We're not talking about the core. We're not talking about the core. We're talking other players on the roster, like the top core players. No, but we're talking other players on the roster. Who else has value that wouldn't be part of the big core?
And may I ask Elliotte as well, because you touched a little on 32 Thoughts, the podcast. Tage Thompson was hot rumored as you're about Thursday. Rasmus Anderson.
Look, Rasmus Anderson, that one will go on until it goes on, but I don't believe that's a match for Toronto. They tried last year, they couldn't do it. I don't see it. I could always be wrong, though.
You spoke well of Berube handling the press after he was clearly agitated at Nylander during a game. Is he on the hot seat?
I don't believe so. Not right now, Ron. I don't see that right now. I think they are looking at a roster for roster trade. What can we do with another team that can shake us up a little bit?
Is Troy Stecher brought in to be part of a roster for roster trade, or they want?
No, they need him. They need a right-hand shot defenseman. Like, if they didn't claim Stecher today on waivers, I think they were going to bring up Henry Thrun from the Marlies and play him. But Stecher got claimed. Brad Treliving has a history for him. We traded for him when he was in Calgary. The other thing, too, that I think this tells us, Chris Tanev is on this trip. So is Austin Matthews. But I don't think Chris Tanev is, the timeline is, they really have an idea right now. I don't think it's a short-term thing, even though he skated last week. So that's another reason they needed Stecher.
Austin, is he close?
He can come off. He can come off after Tuesday. We'll see. I think everybody's hopeful, but nobody knows for sure.
And the Kampf.
Yes, so David Kampf was claimed on waivers today by the Vancouver Canucks. I think this was the outcome that everybody expected, that Vancouver, the team that had the most need for a center and the most interest, would end up with him, and they got him. I do believe that Montreal, after Alex Newhook got injured in that brutal ankle injury, and good luck, Alex, I do think Montreal made a pitch, but it was going to be tough for everybody to beat Vancouver here. I think the Canucks had the most need and the most determination to get him.
So Newhook's tough. The Jack Hughes is off. Really tough.
Well, it's tough, but the one thing, Ron, I'll say about this is that when I first started looking into this on Friday morning, I think the Devils and Hughes and Team USA really consider this outcome fortunate. The Devils announced today 8 weeks, reevaluated after 6. But when I first heard about it on Friday morning, I think there were people who were worried he would definitely miss the Olympics. So the fact that this is the diagnosis we got, reevaluated after 6 weeks, I think everybody involved here would consider that a victory. And I know people are wondering and I've heard it from multiple places, like the best way to describe it is he slipped and fell and he cut himself on some glass.
By the way, there's 2 shot blocks. One, McAvoy took one in the face tonight, went to the room. Drew Doughty took one on the foot, went to the room. But we don't have any further on that.
We'll wait until later.
Sunday headlines would be good for that. There were fireworks, as you would expect in Florida.
Well, the first game today between Florida and Tampa since that unbelievable one in the preseason that took about 5 hours to play. And it was still a mean game. Like, the passions have not cooled when it comes to these two teams. There was a lot of nastiness tonight, but George Peros was there, and both the teams were warned by the NHL going in. Like, just there's a line. Don't go over it. We don't want to see this again. And, you know, if something does happen, we have things at our disposal to punish you. I think the other thing that I heard about this is that, and it didn't happen today, but in that preseason game, if they could have gone back, Ron, and do it over again, they would have told the referees to throw people out faster. And I think that's one thing they were kind of reminded of. If anybody goes too wild too early here, don't hesitate to throw them out of the game. It didn't happen, though.
It was a wild week in terms of McDavid with Nick Seeler roughing him up in the Philly. Obviously, Zadorov got Matthews. There was an example. Elias Pettersson was run over from behind by Keandre Miller. So that the whole idea of worst fighting's role in the game was kind of also percolating. Great Saturday headlines. Elliotte Friedman.